for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, and play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in. Came for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in. I'm on my job, I get it done, but you should know that. Shine like a sun, a 101, you should know that. I get the front and in the back, you should know that. No need to stun, it's never cap, you should know that. All I know, 10 toes, never fold, bang roll, on the go, ice wall, ice wall, ice wall. Came for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in. Came for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in. I miss my baby, so I hit them on the FaceTime. I need it all for them, so no, I cannot waste time. Facing these oceans, feel the water on my waistline. We trust the process and I only know it takes time. You can get it, got no worries, I'm gon' make mine. Going global, I'ma get it out the state lines. Paying taxes at a more than what you make now. Different bracket, eating off a different plate now. For my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in. Came for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in. SOS, SOS, SOS. I got you, yeah. SOS, thought you was a threat. I do real life, do no tip and tat on the internet. We don't do that. See, I've been a threat and I've been a vet. Thought you knew that way. I'm cashing checks. I don't owe no debts. I've been through that. See you, SOS, SOS, SOS. See you, SOS. Need a life vest. Need no mic check. SOS, SOS, SOS. See you, SOS. We don't talk checks. We get to it. We get to it, yeah, we do it, yeah, I go up. We influence, yeah, see me moving, yeah, I glow up. Every time I show up, I can flip my switch out. They act like they know us, but they know dog on big dog. Asking if it's still a flex, say they better go ask Booyah. Never think I'm gon' check, better pull up like woo. Come to place and I'm the best, I ain't worried about none who y'all. 24, no rest, stand on business, I'm too tall. Thought you was a threat. I do real life, do no tip and tat on the internet. We don't do that. See, I've been a threat and I've been a vet. Thought you knew that way. I'm cashing checks. I don't owe no debts. I've been through that. See you, SOS, SOS, SOS. See you, SOS. Need a life vest. Need no mic check. SOS, SOS, SOS. See you, SOS. We don't talk checks. We get to it. All in for the jackpot. Every time I want the last shot, championship ring. Went to starter from a mascot, went to rollies from a G-Shock. Brand new kettle, no teapot. You should know I don't play. Go sicko mode like I'm T-Scott. Eagle vision from the treetop. Went to image from a green dot. Never had no limit, but I had some Reeboks. Keep it humble, but the fee's not. In the game, no free spots. But I earn what's mine. Nothing less, I'ma shine. SOS, thought you was a threat. I do real life, do no tip and tat on the internet. We don't do that. See, I've been a threat and I've been a vet. Thought you knew that way. I'm cashing checks. I don't owe no debts. I've been through that. See you, SOS, SOS, SOS. See you, SOS. Need a life vest. Need no mic check. SOS, SOS, SOS. See you, SOS. We don't talk checks. We get to it.
Good morning all. Yes, sir. Hope everyone is good. Hope everyone is well. Happy Wednesday. Let's see what we have going on for today in the markets. Yesterday, big rally on gold with Trump announcing some tariff news. So we'll speak about that. I'll explain why and what's happened basically, and then we take it from there. So let me make sure all systems go. Everything looks like it is working. We start off on the calendar today being Wednesday. Pretty clean day. A little bit of home sales. Nothing really crazy here. I'm very loud. It's probably your speakers. I think my voice is normal. But yeah, something very, you can turn it down. Have you heard of the turn it down button? It's like a minus button and bit distorted. Is it really distorted? I have to restart the whole Zoom then. Audio's okay on this? Yeah, I'll have to shut down Zoom. I'll shut down Zoom. Let's see, maybe the mic is on a different mic. What about now? Bit loud and distorted? Good now. It's the same or it changed? Good from the fucking start. It's the same, then it must be you guys, because it's not everyone. If it's not everyone, then you need to just restart your Zoom. Leave and join back. Very simple. Leave and join back. Yeah, on YouTube it's fine. Let's see YouTube. Yeah, YouTube looking good. Well, louder is better, right? Because you can adjust. It's probably because I'm closer to the mic. I'm sitting a bit closer to the mic today. Anyways, getting back onto the charts. Not really too much today in terms of news. Pretty clean throughout the whole day here. And yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Nothing. Well, I'm not looking for anything, to be honest, because we are pretty clean for today. So I don't have to worry about anything. And except for these home sales, but it's not a big deal in my opinion. Not a big deal in my opinion to have these home sales. And then London's clean. So getting into the charts here, looking at gold. So we rallied very heavily yesterday on gold. Reason for this big rally here is because Trump came out. I actually took a buy here. Now I wasn't leaving runners. Runners would have been actually an amazing position to leave runners from down here, but I was in a buy from here down here yesterday. I wasn't expecting such a rally, but Jesus, man, if I just left something here, oof, you never know. But pretty nice trade, 1 to 17 risk to reward. I'll take it. not a bad day, but couldn't have expected this much here. It's a massive rally from yesterday, from the original push. What I was saying, coulda, woulda, shoulda. Yeah, I know, right? I mean, how can we expect a 500 pip push? But put mic volume down. Damn, 1 minute you guys complaining mic volume is too quiet. Now it's too loud. You can adjust your volume, no? I have to see this for myself, because now it's annoying me. Let me see. Let me watch my own YouTube video. Let me see. Let me watch my own throughout the whole day here. Sounds perfect, man. And yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Nothing. Well, I'm not looking for anything, to be honest, because we are pretty clean for today's trade. 1 to 7. Seems good to me, man. Not a bad day, but seems perfect to me, because you can adjust volume. YouTube is good for me. I'm not gonna adjust that. That seems good. You know, it's clear as well. Distorted, I don't know why it's distorted. What do you think, brother? Jump in now, quickly, get into a trade, quickly. Nothing, bro, we're right at support, bro. We're right at support. Stuck right at support. Relax, we're rejecting now. Okay, then I can end Zoom and restart Zoom if you guys would like. Okay, how about like this? Is this better for Zoom now? Is this better for Zoom? I've adjusted it on Zoom. So I'll keep it like this, is better maybe. Or I can leave it on auto. Let me see. This should be fine. I've adjusted it slightly. I haven't touched YouTube. I haven't put YouTube down. All right, so let's have a look at gold here, starting off on daily time frame. Obviously, we're here rejecting the highs. So this is a it's way lower than before. I didn't touch YouTube, so that's a lie. It's not way lower than before, because I didn't touch YouTube. It's not possible it's way lower. Okay, let me check now on YouTube. See if you guys are lying, because I can't trust. Let's see. It's good on YouTube, man. That should work. Now everyone's happy. Everyone's happy now. Anyhow, so looking at gold here, you can see that we're at this daily resistance here, rejecting daily resistance. So we can definitely find a high here. It is definitely possible to find a high here and start to reject from this, especially if this daily candle closes bearish here. So if we're on the 4-hour time frame, we have a mixed bias today. Mixed bias is going to be a little bit tough because we're coming from targets being met. So what I mean is that we have basically tapped 4-hour resistance, daily resistance. All the resistances have been met here. And with that being said, looking for buys is not going to be as simple. Now, to say that it absolutely breaks down from here and starts to dump, that's also another question, because it doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to see absolute downside from here. The next thing is obviously looking at lower time frame here. We're starting to shift a bit of structure here. 1 hour change of structure, 30-minute and 15, we have a bit of a downtrend. We can trade back towards the daily resistance, just probabilities are a little less. Now we just reacted off this previous 50-minute support. Pretty strong reaction. You can say we missed it by 1 pip or something, but I don't think it's fully like considered as not tested. Pretty much tested, to be honest. And I want to just see how it looks on broker, because probably broker tested, but here it didn't. Yeah, broker clearly tested, but here it didn't. Yeah, so honestly, I don't think it's a big deal. In terms of making a massive rejection, but can start the reversal here. Now for it to start the reversal, we could see buys somewhere above here. Let's see this 15. So buys above here can start to make sense. And we can look to trade back into these highs as long as there's no 1 hour resistance in the way. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's fine. It's just a little bit lower here. So for sells, simple setup 2s I'll be looking for. Or I'll be looking for sells below this 15. Problem is we have a 30 minute a little bit lower, which I don't like. Just gonna look how this looks on broker, that 30 minute. Yeah, basically the same. Makes it hard to have that 30 minute there because we could reject. So we're just gonna bring in this 30 minute here. And maybe I have to actually extend the sells down below here. But ideally selling down towards the lows is going to be better than selling below. Problem is, do we have enough range, right? Because here if we close bearish here, we have like 27 pips for 13 pips. Not the best in terms of range, right? ENS is also saying there's a previous 4 hour support. Yeah, I have it marked as the 30. It's the same one, but yes. So maybe below there is going to be better, but we are pretty far from that. So I think it's pretty simple. Buys above here look okay as well. 30 minute look all fine, and then the sells back below this range here also look fine. If we get a tight close, we can play to this and see what happens here. With volume, we should be able to push through. It's about 8 pips. It's enough to see what happens. As long as we have like 5 pips, it should be fine. Check how spreads are doing today. 0.6, 0.7 now. Just spikes 0.8. What's up, man? Sure, man. You asked me now. Oh, good.
I'm in about 1 hour. Could you take that as aggressive option, or what are your thoughts on that?
Problem is we're rejecting something, man. You know, you've been trying to get it. If you just want to sell it, man. I'm not gonna.
No, I'm talking about on the buy here.
Oh, for the buy? You know what? Getting a 5 minute close instead of waiting for the 15.
Yeah, we need to close above that dip on the counter buy. So
you need a close above for the buys, man. Especially that we're rejecting from multiple highs. You know, we're rejecting daily resistance, 4 hour resistance. I don't even see the buys. For me, I even risky here. I don't even like the buys fully because of we're rejecting multiple highs, right? So it's very tough. We reach targets met. To say that gold is going to continue higher is also not guaranteed yet, right?
Yeah, I answered my own question. I didn't even...
Yeah, it's all good, man. It's fine.
Tired.
It's all good. It's a valid question. Who's in stream with you? That's the guys in the exclusive group, bro. So this is the problem. Is that we're at all of these highs, but we could retest it one more time before continuing down. The reason gold popped up yesterday is Trump basically started to bring together some tariff rules, right? So he started to say, hey, we're going to do lower tariffs in Japan. He even signed a deal with Japan to do 500 billion in investment, which is pretty big and does make GBPJPY very interesting here. Could get the breakout based off that weak yen and stuff. So looking back at gold here, that's the plan. Sells below, buys above, basically. A pretty simplistic plan. Having a look at DAX here today. And man, everyone's in a funny mood. Check DAX. Relax, guys. Relax. Just relax. Jesus Christ. Just came to the charts. Relax. Starting off on the daily time frame here, we can see how previous daily closed bearish here, rejecting these lows, right? How it's rejecting these lows is definitely interesting, giving us more of that potential bullish bias, even though the daily closed bearish, because we're kind of in the same opposite scenario as gold, where we're rejecting from multiple supports. You'll see how the 4 hour time frame has also closed at a resistance, so it makes it a little bit more difficult to look for straight buys here, because now we're at an area where we could potentially reject. So it doesn't turn off the equation that we could see sells today, right? We could definitely see sells become an option today if price wants to reject here. Otherwise, we need buys above the highs, and we can look for potential continuation of this move. Now we've had a very heavy move since this morning here. We can see we've pushed up quite heavily. So to get the continuation today, we're going to need some great volume present in the market. I want to just see these ranges here. I don't think this is big enough, but maybe. See what we're looking like. 12 points, not that bad. See what 5 is saying. 5 is higher as well, makes it very tough. This is where our 5 is. Yeah, it's basically looking like we want to go above that 15. Is going to be better. We'll just keep both on. It has moved a lot pre-session, but if we get a nice heavy day today, only problem is we're at target. Now, remember, I was considering sells as well. So sells are not going to happen until we at least get a change of structure here. We don't even have 30-minute change of structure available yet. 1 hour did close bearish. Yeah, selling here is going to be nasty. We're back above daily resistance. Ideally, we want to sell below daily resistance or to get a fake out. Means we retest this 15. After we retest the 15, we can look for sells back below a low that is made. But we need to see at least like a 2-candle low be made would be better. See what 1 minute range is saying. I would say it wouldn't also be bad if this 15 closed bullish in 7 minutes and the next one closed below bearish. Or if this 15 closed bullish and then we get another 5 closing below, that could give us to test daily resistance. But it might want to go one more liquidity grab higher. So I think buys are going to make sense above 24,317. I quite like the buys above there. I quite like buys above there. Otherwise, I'm more interested in sells. So I want to look at USD JPY and GBP JPY because of this deal that was signed with Trump. So we could see some interesting movement in the yen here. We're also seeing dollar get extremely weak, which is why gold is pumping. We had yesterday very weak dollar. Now as it starts to strengthen and bounce back a little bit, we can see USD JPY start to bounce back with it, following the yen strength. So looking on daily on USD JPY, we can see we've come back down to this daily support. There's actually a nice zone to bounce off. Continue this higher low, higher high type formation we've been making. 4-hour time frame created a support already. We are sitting at this previous 4-hour resistance. Once we get above here, it should be pretty nice for continuation. And USD JPY has been moving a lot nicer than GBP JPY during London session here. So we've already closed a 1 hour above that, which is good. So I think we just need to clear this 15-minute resistance and we should have a buy opportunity above this 15-minute resistance, which we just rejected right now. So if this can close bearish here, next candle can close bullish above. We do have about, I think, a 10 pip range, 18 pip. Oh, wow, even bigger range. Stops are not too crazy on you know, stops are like would be about the same, to be honest, depending on where we close. And yeah, this is what I'm going to be looking for. This is what I'm going to be looking for. Pretty simplistic plan on USD JPY. We are mixed bias. You can technically look for sells as well, but sells would have to be below 146.942. But based on fundamental reasons, I want to try take a little bit of the buys just as the yen weakens a little bit as this deal comes through of 500 billion investment. Same thing on GBP JPY here, but for GBP JPY, I wouldn't mind a retest. So although I want buys today, on GBP JPY for long term, I could actually take a little bit of a swing if I can get back and respect 198s. That's an interesting zone. If it does one more liquidity grab down to 197, is extremely juicy and something that would excite me. But with this bullish pressure, so now I don't think it would be the option. So that's what I'm going to be looking at here. UJ, have a little plan here for UJ, and then gold and DAX here. So we're going to see how everything forms. Still continuing up here on gold, and that's the plans for today. So pretty straightforward. Interesting zones we pull to. Yeah, interesting zones we pull to. DAX is at 4-hour resistance, and gold is at daily 4-hour major resistance on gold. So trying to buy here is it's next level, man. It's you need to do some alien shit to get clean buys when we're at these major higher time frame resistances. So that's gonna be the plan. Let's see if the sells come through. If you guys enjoyed the plan, everything is loud and clear. Leave a like on the stream. You know the drill. 300 of us in here. Appreciate everyone showing up nice and early to hear the plans. And yeah, let's get the likes up to 100. I would appreciate that. And yeah, we're on the road to 100k subs, man. I think that's the next big goal here. 97.8. Not too far off, boys. Not too far off. I'd also a dream would be 100k subs and 1,000 viewers on stream at the same time. So it's been a goal of mine to have 1,000 people on stream. We need some magic for that to happen. Refresh 97.9. Yes, it is 97.9. I just haven't refreshed this for a while. So we're not far off. Maybe today we can get to 98. But the problem is most people who watch stream are already subscribed or don't want to subscribe. I can actually check the stats. Let's see how much percentage of people, what are we guys guessing? How much percentage of people are subscribed who watch stream compared to not? I'm interested to see. Let's go. Content, streams, live. Let's have a look at analytics here. So this is yesterday's stream. Yesterday's stream, we made $2 and we lost a subscriber. So that's not going to help. Losing a subscriber is not going to help. So yeah, we didn't even gain a subscriber last stream. See engagement. Where can we see amount of people subscribed? Audience. This is, 24%, 75% are subscribed. So it is a big percent. That last 24% will be able to do it. That last 24% will be able to do it. Matos got it correct, man. He said 70% subs. That's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive. Usually not the other way around. Yes, it is the other way around on YouTube videos, but not for stream, because stream recently has been the same number for a long amount of time. So those people have just been mainly subscribers. But hopefully if stream grows, then it'll be good. Most new traders don't understand your strategy. Yeah, that's why I love to put basic videos on my channel of all my strategy here and basic concepts like just support and resistance, just to make sure that the beginners can work. Consolidating before breakout. Yeah, we like that, no? We like that. Oh, wow. This video is done extremely well here, huh? 162k views. Wow. That's pretty viral. Because it's 5 minutes? Yeah, if I make a 1 minute strategy video, that's gonna go viral. You think it would increase a lot if you included the NY session? It was great last week with the lads trade NY. Yeah, I think if I did it consistently, yes. The problem is there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people who trade NY already live. So you're not someone different. Found you Monday. Welcome to the team, bro. Welcome to the team. Yo, Harry, US 30 after NYC open, you think it'd still be valid if it had no bottom wick on open? Ooh. If the open candle had no bottom wick, you mean, right? I think it would, yes. Because you're just relying on pure volume. That's a volume-based trade, right? With some, of course, closing above ranges and stuff like that. But the point is that if it comes down anyways, it should fail before the close. Like the next candle should open bottom wick first, and that bottom wick should fail. The important thing is having that bottom wick before you take the entry, because otherwise, if it is extremely small bottom wick, it might break the high then flip. Why not take this sell? No 5 minute structure. We have the retest area. Which sell? Let's have a look. Oops, open double. What is this on? You're selling right at support, man. It's not a good plan to sell right at support. This is a support, previous resistance becomes support. You're selling right at here. If you go check your broker, it would tap it exactly and reject. And also below it, we have this 30-minute, which is also a 4-hour. What should we be expecting on gold? Well, at the moment here, it looks like it's want to try some upside for now. We failed to close above the resistance. We're trying to breach the resistance. 5-minute, not even one candle pullback till now. We could get a break, fake out, sorry, back below here and look for sells. But we're gonna see how price action forms. Harry's clean traffic strategy still working. It's the only that zones like to trade in clean areas is magic. It's a fundamental part of any price action strategy, any trading strategy, even supply and demand. A supply zone is created by a big move happening, right? If we look at this 4-hour supply that we're at, right? This is a 4-hour supply here. This would never be a supply if there wasn't a clean move away from that zone, right? If we didn't have this move that happened here, this would never become a supply and demand zone. Otherwise, it would just look choppy like this. So the only way that the clean candle zone will stop working is if the market ranges for like a year, meaning that the market does not move. Because in order for a market to move, it has to create a clean candle. It's impossible for the market to move without creating a clean candle on one time frame. This is why this strategy sucks, because you're basically selling support and buying resistance, low probability setups. Actually, you have it wrong. I will correct you here. Of course, you're entitled to your opinion. It doesn't suck to have a 75% win rate shown over 2 years on a live stream every single day. That proves that it doesn't suck. But what I'm doing is I'm selling to a resistance. I'm buying to a resistance. I'm selling to a support. I'm not buying at resistance. I'm not selling at support. If we have a resistance or support where we are, like today, look at this. Today I'm stuck at resistance. I'm not going to buy here. I'm going to wait for price to break into another range so I can trade from that range to the next range so I don't get messed up. It works only 25%. If you're just here to hate, that's fine, but hopefully what I explained helped you. You're of course entitled to your own opinion. I'm not going to argue against that. It's brought me to where I am, and it'll be amazing. So yesterday, for instance, imagine buying gold where you were selling it. Look at the RR. You want me to show you something pretty cool, bro? And I'll show you this. So even though I took a sell, at the time it made sense. But that doesn't mean I didn't take buys yesterday. If you go check in my trades, yesterday I took a buy here. You can see my buy. You can see my plan for my buy. And you can see my MetaTrader buy as well. If I held that trade yesterday, you can also see the RR there. So to say that the strategy sucks, no. I actually had higher probability than you taking a buy down here. Yes, you get the best RR, but I promise you long term that that doesn't work. But me taking a buy here, I have 70% win rate taking a buy here. And also in this trade, if you held this trade, there's your fucking RR, bro, 1 to 18. Same thing, man, with more probabilities. So really don't try pick out at small things that you don't have facts on. Try learn, appreciate the value that's being shared, and appreciate that the same thing that you are saying I have executed on with long-term results. It's way beneficial, bro. So really just try to learn, because the value I'm trying to give here, I'm actually trying to help you, not hate against you. And remember, you're entitled to your opinion. Don't have to trade like me. It doesn't affect me. It's up to you how you trade. I'm just here sharing what's worked for me, and hopefully it can help you in some way. And if it doesn't, move on, bro. There's plenty of people on the internet. You can join them. Follow the guy who's flexing 100k profit, 200k profit. Follow that guy, because he's not there on live for 2 years, back to back, every single day, 600 plus streams, showing you how something works efficiently over time, showing you how it doesn't work some weeks. Some weeks I'm stuck. These last couple months, slower part of my trading. January, February, March, April, I killed the market. But that's what happens. That's how a strategy works. It has best times and low times. Gurus are going to promise you, does your strategy not work sometimes during the year? Of course, it's an edge. It's not a magic formula. There's a difference between having an edge in the market and a magic formula. You chase a magic formula, you're chasing hopes and dreams that no one has achieved. They just sell you into that. Because it's easy to sell a dream, it's not easy to produce a dream. That is the facts. And I'll tell you that from experience. I can sell a dream very quick, but to produce a dream legitly is not easy. So you have to make sure that you really know what you're doing in this industry. And that's my piece of advice. So hopefully it helps you, bro. Let's go back, see what DAX is doing here, moving down now. Finally getting to the zone I wanted it to get to. So if we can start to breach down a little bit more would be better. But this is also where we could bounce. Can you share how to focus while doing backtests? I feel sleepy when the candle is running. Speed up the backtest, bro. Speed it up. That's the whole beneficial about backtesting. If you're just sleeping because you're really bored of backtesting, reduce the time you backtest. Reduce the time you backtest. You don't have to backtest 5 hours a day. Do it once a week for 2 hours, or once a week for, you know, as long as it's about sustainability. It's like going to the gym, right? What's the point of going to the gym if you give someone a super hard program and they only stick to it to a month? Right? All the guys, New Year's resolutions. You never see them stick throughout the year because they come, New Year resolution, super motivated. They start doing a super hard program and they can't stick to it. Then they leave after 1 or 2 months. They're not going to see results, right? Same thing in trading. The only thing that you guys are pressured by is time. And I was pressured by time, right? Because we want results now. It's just not reality. Results come when we earn them. And this is the shitty thing about life in general, is that we can see the vision, we can see sometimes the path towards the vision, but it doesn't happen. Right? It just, you have all of these problems that happen during your journey. And that's why I create safe spaces to try and make things an easier journey, a simpler journey. Because I take my experiences and educate based on it. Starts New Year, ends up in 3 Kings. Let's see what USD JPY is doing. How is it forming? Okay, it formed nice structure here. If we can get above here, it's good. I'm going to actually put an alarm here, just in case we get sidetracked and forget about it. Sometimes can happen. Especially now we're looking at like 3 pairs. Gold, I don't like. No 5-minute pullback is crazy. Definitely a fishy move, this. I would say if we close maybe below somewhere here, I'm just going to double check this on like a 30-minute. If we close below there, we can take sells back down. Yeah, it's nothing on a 30. What about 1 hour? I worry about this though. This bottom of the range here. So I'd have to sell from here down to here. Selling below here is going to be piece of cake. That would be the most highest probability one. That's pretty far away from now. Are you trading UJ now? No, I've just introduced it because it's been moving way cleaner than GJ. So I've been seeing nice moves for the last month. So I'm happy to trade it, especially now with the latest news that's come in. We want to be pretty, this one on US tariffs with Japan, plus the 550 billion that Japan will invest in. Those are 2 things that are going to hopefully bring some volume back into Japanese, the Japan, you know, currency here. Stock market as well, we'll see some volume. Why not look at UK 100? Just pairs, man. I don't want to have like 5 pairs. If I looked at UK 100, I'll probably stick to just DAX and UK 100, those 2 together. There's no particular reason though. It's not like I hate it. I have seen some amazing moves on that. How do you spend 8 hours on the chart? Do you enjoy it? No, I don't enjoy 8 hours on the chart, so I don't spend 8 hours on the chart. That's the whole point. If I traded and streamed London and New York, I would be spending 6, 7, 8 hours on the chart. But that's not sustainable long term. You just drive yourself crazy. To trade quietly and just sit and wait is different. But to host something where you're answering questions, it's a little bit more of a intense, draining activity. So instead, I trade both sessions, and my trading during the whole day ends up being max 4 hours, maybe 5 hours. So it's extremely, and that for me is comfortable. Like London here, we'll spend about 2 hours a day. And most of the time when London gets good, your trades are done in London. You have the whole day for yourself. Trying to learn here, the 1 hour on gold has no bottom wick. That could affect your decision to buy. Yeah, you're not wrong, man. You're not wrong. It can definitely affect your decision to buy. Performance drops dramatically after 2 hours. Yeah, I can see some truth to that, man. I can see some truth to that for sure. Look at the reaction coming from here, what I was talking about, to see that little bounce. This is on GU. Can you check 4 hour and to me see if you're happy with counter bias? I'm happy with it. I'm not always happy about counter bias, but let's have a look. So daily is extremely bullish here. Okay, I see the argument on 4 hour, but see the difference here, and this is a big one, man, very big one. What are we rejecting on 4 hour? You know, this is the conversation we had in last week's webinar, it was, right? What are we rejecting on 4 hour? I mean, you could make up something, but there's nothing fully solid. Yeah, you could make up that, but that's from way in the past. That's what we're rejecting now, but it's not like it's most recent. Look at what we rejected here, but look at the reaction was pretty small, not a big reaction, you know? So you have to be careful that this is not just a higher low. So I'd say be careful with it. You can try it, yes. It does make sense. Watch the 5 minutes and just be careful with it. That's all. That's all you have to be, is like, don't be blindsided and be like, this is a straight sell. You know, watch this zone here. Watch this zone here. Probably safer selling even below that. How does that look on 5? That's it. Let's see what GJ is doing. Here's the rejection starting on gold here. How long till the 15 close? About 1 minute. Let's see if we can close below here, the previous range. How big would stops be here? We'd be looking like 39 pip stops for 25. Damn. But we could definitely go break even there. That's a problem. How the 30-minute would close like that is a weird close. But we would flip the 1 hour, look for a 1 hour wick fill. What an interesting scenario. What an interesting. No 5-minute change of structure as well. Yeah, let's see how this closes. This closes at this support here. This is a trap for me. I've seen this many times. We close at support. We get a little bit lower and then start to potentially fake out. It can continue down, but that's the thing. It becomes like a 50-50. I don't want to trade 50-50s. I want to trade with that 75% win rate or more, because then I'm going to feel confident. Did you take profit on gold yesterday? No, I didn't. I didn't take profit on gold yesterday. Not enough. 10 pips profit was not enough. I think some people closed at 10 pips. They just took 10 pips profit and that was it. But it wasn't enough. I just my best trade was yesterday's buys. That was a nice one. What happened to GJ? A little bit of a dump, yeah. Alright, so close doji after all of that drama. So nothing really changed here. Plan remains the same. But the good thing is now we have 5-minute structure. So if this next 15 can close above after making a bottom wick, would be good. Let's go recheck DAX. So DAX, we could start to look for sells below here. Will be very nice sells actually. Want to see how it looks on 5. Yeah, we could sell to this next 5 here. And avoid this mess here. It's a bit of a mess. Can setup 2 work in mixed bias? If yes, what characteristics do you watch? In these market conditions, stay away from simple setup 2s, because setup 2s work like magic in a trending market when we're in a trending move. Recently, these days, we're ranging on most assets. If you look at DAX, we're ranging at the highs. Gold, we're ranging at the highs. We were trending, but there was no setup 2 here. This all happens in one day. These big moves happen in one day. You're looking at setup 1s here most of the time. You can see like these setup 2s still played out, but like today I'm looking for a setup 2 down, but what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a break out of the range. So it's a setup 2 with some more confirmation. Because with mixed bias, this candle closed back inside the range, so it's essentially a fake out. So I want to see this leave the range again. The same how this candle happened. UJ big dump, yeah, but remember I talked about that retest that we could have? That would be nicer for long-term buys, just not session buys. Okay, this can come back into down here. Somewhere in here. 98s. Could be a little bit of a nice long-term buy. Now, next question I have to ask myself is, am I interested in setup 2 buys on DAX? Doesn't look the cleanest. A lot of downside pressure. And being at 4-hour resistance, not the best. I wish this was clean here. We could take like a 5 close below in 1 minute. That would be beautiful. We have this support here, this one here. How crazy is it to trade to this next support? Let's see how mental I am. Is it that bad? 6 points. A bit cowboy stuff, you know, it's a bit of cowboy stuff. We'll see how cowboy I am today. Gold has no bottom wick. Yeah, even the 1 hour has no bottom wick yet, but I'm gonna double check that on broker. It could help those sells we were talking about, right? I have bottom wick on broker though, so it doesn't really help with that. Just on this it doesn't have. How to keep going when you see the vision but nothing is still visible in surface level, as you said. That's the thing. Most people don't going. They don't keep going. They just end up quitting. And when you quit, then it's, you know, the thing is you have to problem solve. So obviously the reason you don't want to keep going is because you have a problem. And that problem is maybe you need to pay bills. Maybe you need to have XYZ. But if you trade just to have a better life, not just to survive, then you should be able to be motivated to increase. If you want more time with your family, and if you want to buy your wife nicer things, to buy yourself nicer things, to buy your family nicer things, then you are creating a better lifestyle from an aspect. But if you're saying, I need to trade just to survive, to put food on the table, and that's the situation I'm in right now, of course you're going to be desperate for results to happen because you're desperate situation. You need to provide, you need to put food on the table. It's not an easy situation to be in. What do you think about 1 minute strat for sell? Nah, it's not in a zone for that. It's not in a zone for that, right? We need a big clean zone for sells. Okay, which pair? If you're that tired, man, I'd recommend taking it chill, bro. For sure. You're gonna make a terrible mistake like that, man. Just take it easy. Rest up. Yeah, man, rest up. Pull up for NY session or something. Or tomorrow, if you're that tired, you know. Missing one day, missing one trade won't hurt. Even though it sucks, but you know, if you're that tired, man, it's gonna be better for you. Alright, but don't do anything silly. You won't mark the newly created support on 30-minute? This one, yeah, it is valid, man. It is valid. We can mark it. If we look for sells below here, 30 pips for 20 pips. Not bad. It's not bad, actually. We still have room. Because I would expect it to break through this, honestly. If it doesn't, then maybe I can secure a little early. It's not the end of the world. Seven minutes, we'll see what happens in 7 minutes. See how DAX is forming. Yeah, bounce from that zone. I still prefer DAX above the highs now. We could just end up doing some BS here. What would be perfect here is we need a 5-minute structure to form as well. So either in the next candle, in this candle, if it forms, it will close below the 30. UJ setup 4 possible? Let's see. I think at this point here, we'll be looking for the buys above still. It's not really worth the stop loss here. 36 is pretty big. $36 for 12. Ugh, not worth it. Does trading below the range, like you mentioned on gold, is done only on gold or the other pairs too? All pairs, bro. All pairs. It's a concept of understanding that we broke back into this range here. So it acts like a fake out. So for us to go down now, we need to leave. Your concept similar to Raja Banks? Not exactly, no. I trade price action. So price action, he trades price action as well. So there'll be similarities, which is a good thing, because anyone who trades price action should trade around the same. But I have a lot of different things in my trading. Been really liking your strategy, super clean, makes a lot of sense. Just wondering, do you share any broker statements, verified results? Would love an extra bit of confidence, appreciate it. Yeah, I could share if you DM me. I'll share on a percentage basis. If you would like to see me take trades live, because you know people can fake broker statements, just so you know for your future if you're asking people like this, because it's valid to ask, But the people can fake broker statements these days, man. It sucks. It sucks. Like, especially if these guys are partnered with prop firms, broker statements, brokers, you know, they can do what they want, right? It's just a statement. So the best way that I've loved to showcase my results is you check my streams. I have a 2-year track record, and on these streams I show where I enter and where I exit. So you can't really fake it when you're showing it live every day, because I say on stream I'm entering here, I closed here, I'm moving break even here, right? And you can see this. So this is, if you just type exclamation journal in the chat, you can go through all these trades. This is something from 2023 till now, every single day. Why don't you get into managing funds, handling private money with the amount of stats you got? They want different stats, and I'm already working on that. That is my plan. It's also a bit high stress because you're managing millions of dollars. So you have to be in the right mindset, right? All of this training I've been doing, trading live in front of people, has been useful for that. But it is something I'm working on. But they want to see someone who makes 2% a month. They don't like high return people because they don't trust high capital with high return. It just doesn't really work. It doesn't work. Like, long term, these big money managers, they hate super profitable traders because they know they will blow it at some point or something will happen. It's just how it's worked over time. So if you build a statistic report, which I'm working on, that shows 2%, 1.5% a month, they're extremely happy with that because it's really safe system for them and something they can trust long term. So you need to build that, but it takes a year more on top of what you already have to build that system so that you can then get it third party verified and do that. So I started it, but it needs a year worth of trading in order for it to be valid. And anything more than a year would be better. So I'm thinking of running it even like a year and 2 months. Because in trading, a year is not a long time, actually, believe it or not. Join DauerNex. It's not that worth it. You could get private funds, get better payouts. DauerNex is fine, but there's better things out there. So you will approach with a 2 to 3 hour method, reducing risk, aiming for more trades. No, actually the less. You look for the, yeah, like you said, 2 hour, but you instead of aiming for more trades, you do less trades. Tell me something about backtesting. I've learned not perfect support and resistance, supply, demand. You're learning too much, man. Stick to one thing. Stick to one thing and backtest on ticks. Very important to do that. Just ordered through KPMG. No, I want to order through there's another company. I have it already. I forgot the name. It just left my head. There's one more company that looked very good. "21 seconds for gold to close above here. Problem is how big our stops are. We could probably run it below the 5. Let's see if it's worth it. Break of high here. 35 pip stop. Max target 30. Actually, it's not proper risk to reward and we close below. See how that looks on broker. Ah, it looks rubbish on broker that close. Even though it's above, but it really looks bad. Yeah, but there's a good liquidity grab, so that normally would help a lot. Problem is stop loss, man. You're just like, you know, you're just gonna take another trade. You're gonna, even with aggressive stop loss, which is not below the 15-minute wick, right? We're putting our stop loss here, 35 pips below 5-minute structure. Even with that, to get to this max target here is 30 pips, you know? So you're forcing a lot of things here. You're forcing a lot of things. Remember, you have to keep, yeah. You have to also keep in mind we're at daily, weekly, and 4-hour resistance. So to say that today is just full margin buys and that this is gonna be smooth sailing through all the ranges is very hard to argue right now. especially with the threat of drawdown from this current position here. You know, it can work, but it's the threat that we have. So it depends how we want to play it. We either play it risky or we play it safe. If we remove the daily 4 hour and all of that bullshit, it will be way better. DAX pushing back up. Yeah, if this 5 minute can close bearish, next one close above, that would work. That would work. Even it can close above this 5 minute resistance here. Let's draw a little box because we're trading based on 5, and then we would have to watch this zone here, see what happens there. A little bit of a tighter range, but it's enough. Yeah, that's what we rejected right now. How much would we have above there? Like 5 pips? 7. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. So what should I do now? I'm following price action strategy and it includes all this. No, price action does not include fair value gap, supply and demand. That's all different types of strategy. I would recommend you watch my YouTube videos, man. Any particular reason DAX moves so much in Asian? I don't know the exact reason. It might be some stuff was being said by Trump over Asian. Where's financial juice here? So it could be something to do with that. Maybe it's just that positivity, you know, market open. People are expecting a deal to be made with Europe as well, a better deal. Do you always close your wins at 1-to-1? Is there any instance you let the trade run longer? Yeah, if higher time frame has room. It's actually a part of the strategy I'm working on, but it's about timing it. You know, you need to be really good with timing it. It's kind of like this situation where sometimes if you try let it run more, like recently in London, we need those 1-to-1s. Like if you're getting a 1-to-1 in London, call it, because we've been having a lot of lack of continuation. Because we get shit like this where Asian pushes really heavy and then London we're stuck with the remains. So it's hard, like, unless you have a banger day, but how can you predict it's going to be a banger day? It's hard to get like another straight continuation. It sometimes just flags out. So if we do get any form of continuation, I want to make sure I'm profit taking on that and getting paid. Oops. Yeah, I don't like the look of gold candles here. They're just, I know it can move, but not confidence inducing at all. USD JPY closed below this support here. Hopefully this is the 5 minute. Trying to create some structure would be nice. Somewhere around here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles now. I have to learn price action now and stick to it only and fair value gap. Yeah, if you like price action, then stick to price action. Yesterday gold was amazing. It was a great push yesterday. Are you in Dubai? Yes, I am in Dubai. I'm in Dubai. We getting on today? Getting on what? Be careful what I say yes to. And why? Yes, yes. We're trading NYSE. We'll be there. Exclusive group today, NYSE. If I'm in Dubai, DAX, we get structure. Yeah, let's go. Well, here's our structure coming. Why all traders move to Dubai? Tax purposes is the main reason, and it's hyped. It's a great country, man. And also, but a lot of people here are just like a bunch of idiots, you know? There's a lot of traders who are a bunch of idiots. Come here, blow and burn money. But mainly tax, man. Very beneficial for tax. We have London Open soon here on DAX, so it looks like it's going to be a London Open trade. 1 hour is a juicy close for London Open, huh? Anything like this is nice. And I hope London Open makes a bottom wick first. Would be great. 5 minutes, 6-7 minutes till London Open. Let's go double check UJ for London Open, moving down now. And what about gold? Still hovering, right? Not enough liquidity to continue up. Struggling. Look at 1 minute. Struggling. But this could be a nice 30 close. I like the 30 close here for London Open. We could get, oh wow, 1 hour looks great as well. So this would be something I'm interested in, especially if we get the next 5 closing above as well. Now the question is stop loss. How could I run an aggressive stop loss? I could probably run it below. It would be good for 5 minute structure to be made now, right? Then I can run it below 5 structure. Right now we have a pretty big stop, huh? Stop is 40 pips. Doesn't make sense, unfortunately. This is the problem. We don't have any structure formed, and that's what ruins your probabilities. Can we get DAX on MetaTrader 5? Yeah, but it might not be called DAX. On my broker, it's called DE40. Some brokers DE30, GER30, GER40. Many different names. Can I know where I can enter the buy trade? I'm waiting for London Open in 5 minutes, and I'll look for buys above my box here on DAX. For gold, I'm still waiting here. We need more information. This is looking sketchy. It would make sense based on 30, but we just don't have the range. 50 pips stop ideally. For 20 pips is not good. Don't understand, in some situations you take the tight buys, like yesterday you just put stop loss at break even, and on this situation on gold you decide not to. When is the last time we saw London push through a resistance? That's the reason why. So it's, do you expect it or do you not expect it? The second thing is, yesterday on 15 we had 15 structure, so I can just go break even and then rely on that structure. You see, look how much structure there is on 15 before we closed above. We had a double structure. Look at the difference. You'll see the difference. So yesterday is fine because I can put my stop loss break even here, And that's almost a 1-to-1, right? Stop loss here was 20 pips. This was 15 pips, so 5 pip difference. Today, check out how there's no structure to give me any liquidity for this move. That's the major. Look at this. We've been a straight push from the bottom. No 15-minute structure. No 30-minute structure. Barely 5-minute structure as well. So the problem is if I get into a position, yesterday, look what happens if it pulls back. If it pulls back yesterday, where is it pulling back to? Probably to this structure. Maybe this one here or this one here, which it did when it made its bottom wick. So I'm not too worried about pullbacks to give me the volume to give me a push. But today, if it pulls back, where is it pulling back to? Bro, this thing could pull back to the whole bottom of the range. So is it worth taking? Because this thing can come all the way down here and still end up playing out. And you've bought right here. It's like the worst place to buy. So if there was structure, I take it. I take it. And expect volume to push through. But in London, we've not seen volume push through. So you can't expect that, but we could at least try, right? We could at least try. Thanks for explanation. Hope I'm not being annoying. No, it's a valid question, man. That's a valid question. If you could choose to be early on any investment, stocks, crypto, what would it be? Of course, crypto, man. Not even a question that for me. Yeah, I'm not worried about that 1 hour. It's far away, man. I even have it marked as a box. When DAX has volume, it has volume. It won't care about any of these levels. As long as we're not trading at those levels, we're okay. I'm very tempted for gold, man, but it's just lacking so much. Like this would be, you could put a stop loss like this, 14 pips, but we don't have that 5 structure. But 1 minute looks good, but otherwise you're cooked. It would be a nice trade that we have, then it's good range, you know. 15 pip stop, 20 pip target, but no structure. So what we have to do is respect rules, otherwise we typically lose. Let's see the open. The only other way is if I see big liquidity grab down on open. That would be also very exciting for me. This is what we want to see on DAX, because if the open comes and makes structure, which we have already, sorry, not open comes and makes structure, but open makes a bottom wick, we wick up, do some bullshit, close above, that's your buys. Now, we can't forget about sells, so is there a sell option here? Potentially, maybe in a bit, fake out. But be ready, guys. The open might just blast up and ruin our range. Don't be annoyed if that happens. That's just how it works sometimes. Can't be upset about that. Why do I have a crown on my name? Because today you are the #1 chatter. So you've put messages in the chat and you have first place, man. You have first place. What news is DAX? Here's the open here. So moving down first. Not a bad thing for us. Not a bad thing. Let's see how it wants to move down here. Not a bad thing. Yeah, if this can just close above, we could even run stops below this support that will be formed here. 32-point stops with volume should be able to continue. If we reject my little box I have there, it's game over. We get out break even. Boring, but safe. Boring, but safe. If we stay in this range, super boring. Let's check up on gold here. Bottom wick now being made. Open, no bottom wick. Gold on 30 looks great. We just don't have a stop loss placement and no 5-minute structure. So if this 5-minute candle can close bearish now, yeah, this is what, yeah, there we go. This is what it needed. needs this liquidity grab. Absolutely rinse people on this. That's what it needed to do. I wonder if it's worth it going reflip here with stop loss below current candle low. Retested now previous 1 hour. Let's see if 1 minute can close above. So I'm gonna keep an eye on this. One minute still didn't close above though. Oof, it just blasted through. Yeah, I guess that was the buy on the flip, not 1 minute close above. No bottom wick, it's tough. Always scary to run current candle, bottom wick, no structure. Always very scary to do that. Not my cup of tea. But the idea was there. I was close to doing it. But I really was thinking... Where do you stream from? I stream from Dubai, bro. Go to 4 hour time frame, zoom out, you see how confident, then see, yeah, maybe 5 minute scalps, you're flirting with danger. Definitely, man. This is 100% true. 4 hours, absolute death zone. But to try catch these quick scalps is okay, but you're playing with a knife here at this zone. I would have been break even to at least mental break even here. I would have expected a straight push, so I'd allow it to retest. Otherwise, it's game over. Again, you're below 4 hour, you're trading straight back into the deadly range here. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, but look where we are. Look where you are. You're just buying this range that's been messy all morning. So you take a buy now and then it fails and... But that's what I'm saying. You're buying straight back into resistance now. We've rejected 1, 2, 3, 4 times. How confident are you? But we've rejected it and we're not going up. Why is DAX not creating support here and going up? That's the point. That's my point. So if you're gonna try buy back up, it's very difficult. Very difficult. They might be in soon, yes. We will see how this candle forms. 15 close in 9 minutes and then we see. Am I a native of Dubai? No, I was just born here. So instead of the setup 2, what would we need, right? It's the setup 2 that I have the problem. We need we need setup 5 because of all these rejections. It's minimum requirement. But it's not counter bias, it's just a buy back up. It's fine, but you need change of structure. I think gold would have given you that 1-to-1 there. Yeah, that gave you that 1-to-1. It's not bad as an idea. Your hard BE on gold, but how did you close BE when you were hard BE when it came back, retested, and then this? How does this stop you at BE? Pretty hard to run SL below bottom wick. It's one of those trades where you're like forcing something in this range. It looks clean now because it's playing out, but if you just go to 4 hour, like John said, like you look, we're at like a very deadly zone here, man. This is a extremely, like, to win a trade at weekly resistance, to take a buy at weekly resistance, triple daily resistance, and at 4 hour resistance is wizardry. It's stuff that that shouldn't work, and probability wise you are taking a big risk. But buying two highs, trying to play the range is an option, but you know, this is the type of trade that if you take it and you lose, you know exactly why. You can't even argue why you lost, you know? You are buying immediate highs. So it's not a trade you can be upset being like, this shouldn't have lost. No, you exactly know why it lost, right? So you just have to accept that. If you're happy with that, it's fine. If you're not happy with that, sit out. Hopefully this 5 minute can close bullish. Next 5 minute below, I'll be interested for a wick fill here. I'll be interested for a wick fill. I'll take sells for a wick fill. Would also be the 15 minute close at the same time. So that would also, if the 5 minute close bullish, next one close bearish, would be a 15 minute close below as well. You would have got break even if you just went immediately break even. You would have tapped your break even. Yeah, but then it's boring because you would have just got out break even and then see it play out. Good 1 minute structure forming on DEX. We just need that to continue to form. I would say if the 5 minute closes like this, which it's looking like, we probably need a close below here now. Because now we didn't create a bullish candle, so we'll need a close below a range. But this is a great top wick. It's something you want to see. Because what this does is this goes and grabs liquidity. So if we are going to have a downside move, we need it to do this, because markets work with some logic, and the logic they work with is if price has gone all the way up here, why does it have to go all the way down here just to go up again, right? If price wants to go up now, it should just create higher supports. And that's why we wait for closures, because sometimes in the market, you guys have probably heard something called a liquidity grab, right? You've heard how you've been stopped out, okay? And you heard how you can be stopped out in a trade when price goes to grab liquidity and stop all of your stop losses out. But the way we avoid that is allow price to show us it goes up, comes down and closes. That closes proves to you that the liquidity was grabbed and it's ready to go in the direction you want, and you're not going to be part of the liquidity grab. Oof. You got slipped heavy, huh? You didn't want to go on the flip? Oh, you took a re-break of the high? Yeah, you would have survived if you went the flip. Yeah, that makes sense why you get stopped out break even. Which one? This one? The support, you mean? It's a support. We'll see what happens there. I have a daily resistance higher, so I'm more concerned about something that's higher. So I'll be looking at the daily. We might get the buy straight back above the range, to be honest. DAX is crazy. Yeah, it's doing a bit of ping pong. The worst thing that can happen today is it rejects the highs again and then does nothing. Then it's just like full ping pong. Does Thunder make sense here? Not sure, man. Why not take the setup 1? No 15 close above, fair enough. It's not a Thunder without the 15 close above. So you can either wait for the 15 to close above, which would be better. And then, yeah. You don't have the risk to reward. Yeah. It's not a gamble, it's just you don't get paid for that stuff. Which is fine to see if it pushes past it. But you have to ask a lot. How big is this? 85 points, man, is pretty crazy, right? Hi, I took gold on the re-break of the high, went mental break even, and survived and got TP. Do you think it's better to enter on the flip? For me, I would have entered on the flip here. I was just kind of deciding if this is going to be a smart idea. I did like the trade idea. The problem was I really didn't feel confident about stop loss. My stop loss was in the shittiest place possible. So you're gambling on straight volume, which we did get a straight volume push, but when you're doing that, you're just looking for straight push, you know. JPY USD setup 1. I don't trade JPY USD. Max I trade is USD JPY, not JPY USD. The opposite way around. But it would just be the opposite way around, right? It exists. I've not seen it. It probably does. But no, there's no setup on USD JPY. You're selling into this support. You could try sell to the support, yes. But fundamentally, I'm not fully bearish on this yet. It's a good close on gold, but no 5 structure. If we had 5 structure, we could put stops below 5 structure and play this range. 40 pip range is great. If we had some structure here, like 20 pips, 20 for 40, pretty easy. Let's see if DAX wants to leave the range or not. Or is it just gonna get stuck here? Good buy exit. I won't exit on the buy. If you're still holding, I would just trail below 1 minute structure. You can just keep following 1 minute structures now. Or 5 minute lows is also valid. Maybe exit around key level 30 is like a max exit. You could even try extend back to the top of the range. It's valid. Just we're lacking at some point. 5 minute is gonna pull back. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the 8th candle now, back to back. 8 candles back to back. Normally we have a pullback pretty soon. We could even play range buys above here to get back to 4 hour. This is some tight little buy here. If we get a good close, about 20 points, man, that's a big range. 20 points is a big range, especially if we can get this 5 close bullish, the next one close bullish above, or we take sells below here. Now the same thing can happen for sells. We could literally, if this next 5 minute candle closes bullish, we have both direction option. We have a close above for buys and a close below this bullish candle for sells, because it's a good range. It's not a bad range. Below here we have about 31 points, and above here we have 42 points. So we can play above the highs, below the lows. We'll have to see. Thanks. I exited from the 1 minute pullbacks. Difficult to be in sync due to lag. Yeah, that's why I run Zoom calls during the live streams, because there is some lag. I do have it on the lowest setting for you guys, but this is why it's powerful to have the Zoom calls. Avoid that for you guys. So if you want to avoid the lag, then you have to join the team. Only way to avoid the lag. What's this? Comment of the day? I think maybe comment of the day. This guy is telling me how to measure, and he has a very interesting way of measuring on Tradingview. His technique of measuring is to press Shift Ind and Tradingview to measure. Right? So everyone take note of that. You have to press Shift IND, and then you can measure on Tradingview. So if you're not pressing shit, what are you doing, man? Get your shit together. See what Steven has done here. This is, you took the buy, so there we go, yeah. I hope you did take that buy on the thunderstorm. That was your plan. Yeah, there we go. Thunderstorm, beautiful. Well done on GU, guys. Well done on GU. So the guys took GU today. Very nice trade. Did you take this, Steven, on the thunderstorm like we discussed? Yep, there we go. Yeah, we were discussing that. He was asking me. Prasad. So Prasad was asking me if makes sense on thunderstorm, and I said with the 15 close. 15 close came, thunderstorm was there, boom, nice trade. So GU moving nice, not bad stops, huh? Look at that, 6 pips stops. Hey, 6 pips for 10. Wow, very, very good. Was this valid setup too? Trying to learn? No, because of the range we're stuck in. I'll show you why it's not valid. So this candle is stuck within this range here. So we need a change of structure. Remember how he's asking about taking buys? Hey, can I set up 2 buys? I said no, I need a change of structure. Same thing would apply for sells. You can just see how it's done nothing. It's literally come down a little bit and pop back up. Once you get change of structure, kind of tells you we're ready to go. Or we just sell below the lows now. Leave this range and we trade the next range. Now on gold, this is the pullback that I said at some point has to come. We don't know where, right? Could have pushed more, but that's how much we had today. So now the buys are pretty easy. Anything above this high, which will be the 15-minute resistance, is a buy. Or if it pulls back deeper, you can buy back to that 15-minute resistance. But we might get these DAX sells soon, if this can continue with some volume. 20-point break even if this candle closes below. Before this candle closes, just gonna go toilet and come back. This is how the sell would look. Wrong way around. For now, stops would be about 39 if we get a nice close. Let's put a note before people start FOMOing. And if the next candle closes below here, then we can adjust stops to that candle high, right? We get even better stops. Bro, don't spam in chat. You spam in chat, I don't answer. Sell everything. Relax, relax. Looks nice. We might get the next entry here. 1 minute is creating good structure on the way down, you see? Lower highs, lower lows. We need that type of structure. We don't want to be pushing down straight like this. It's a bit scary to take continuation sells. Look at this 15 close. Great 15 close. Close below, huh? So based on 15, this actually makes sense. But how big is stops on 15? 73. So we might as well just wait for the 5, get smaller stops either way. Good 30-minute close as well. I might want to go break of this low. Let's see how the 5 closes. Because break of this low would be leaving the whole range. We might have to trust the 30-minute and 15-minute close if this thing starts coming with volume. And enter a bit impulsively break of this low, which is the 30-minute low. But use a smaller stop loss. Because if we don't get the close, it might just push through. We will see how it forms. I might use like 1 minute closes below. If we get 1 minute closes below, then I might just go break of this low. Because we have the confirmation. We're just trying to get a smaller stop, right? We have the 30-minute closing bearish. We have the 15-minute closing bearish below now. So the confirmations are there. We just need the entry. So we can play around with the way we find the entry. The best one will be a 5-minute candle close below. That's the best way we're going to find an entry. But maybe that doesn't happen, so I have backup plans of how I want to enter if it doesn't. Current candle stops like 32 points. If we go break of this low, would be around 36 points. We rejected that support. So still keeping us safe. 2 minutes for the close. I think hopefully we can survive 2 minutes, would be nice. Looks like we'll be going break of this low. Stop loss above 5? Yeah, that's the plan, man. Back above the 15-minute range and above the 5 and above the 5-minute range. Ooh, we're dumping now already. Last 1 minute. Wow, what a dump. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa. Shit. We didn't even get the 1 minute close here. Not even a 1 minute close. We just pushed straight through. Mirko jinxed it, man. Literally as he typed. You have to all blame him. All. Wonder if I should have gone impulsive. 1 minute close I was only waiting for. Just a 1 minute close. Why I took US 30 impulsive yesterday? US 30 wasn't impulsive. You had the 5 minute close below yesterday. This is completely different. You're selling at 5 minute support, right? We're trying to use a smaller stop. I mean, if you use the 15 minute stop, you just take it based on 15. I guess those big stops would have worked. No, you don't have the risk to reward. Look, it's 92 pip stops. You're only 31 points in profit. It's nothing. It's nothing in terms of profit. On break of low or close below? Depends. If it closes strong bullish, not valid. Weak bullish, yes. We could even look for a retest entry here on this top wick. It's not crazy. As we retest the range. But we need to come a little bit higher. It's not high enough. I needed to retest something, not just retest mid-air, right? I needed to either retest the wicks or the 1 minute structure. This is not really retesting anything. Forming Thunder, we don't know yet. We don't know how it's closed. But you should be done for the day. You took GU. If you take GU, that's it. You chill. You're done. No need to overtrade. But now if this closes weak like this, it would be. Previous 15, let's have a look. This one here, as long as we're breaking it is fine, but yes, it is valid that. So we need to be breaking it. Let's see. Man, we might just have to take a 1 minute entry here. If it can chill 36 seconds. If not, that's it. Let's see. $19 above the 1 minute high. We need a top wick. Very aggressive management. If you're not fast, don't take this, guys. But if we get 1 minute close below, break of low can work. But you have to be fast. I'll give it a go, break of low. I'm going 0.75% risk. It's a 1 minute strat. Good top wick being made. If 1 minute closes back in the range, invalidates the trade. Stop will be above 1 minute high. Look for the break of the low, immediate continuation. No immediate continuation, I close 2-3 pips in drawdown. But again, if this 1 minute closes back in the range, not valid. Literally, that's how tight these trades are. Yeah, it looks like 1 minute will close back in the range. I doubt it's gonna flip in the last 15, nor do I want to be involved in the last 15 seconds. So, invalidated my trade anyways. Invalidated my trade. So now I wait. Even if I entered impulsively here, I didn't hit 1-to-1, and now what am I doing? How big was stops here? Current 15-minute candle high is here. I would have entered impulsively, break of low. Stop loss was 39. How much did we see? 32. Wow. And now back to entry. Damn. I think that would be a break-even trade because we have 1 minute break of structure now, right? I would have said, yeah, 1 minute break of structure. Because we would trust this to continue with lower highs, lower lows, right? That's how we manage the trade. So I would say this at least, yeah, I probably would have at least closed half, if not closed full here, because I wouldn't trust it, especially entering impulsively. So probably break even because stop loss is 38 here. I mean, perfect entry 38. And we only saw 32. And I would have held, there's no reason to close there. 1 minute looked great. So that's the reality, guys, though. That's the reality. 1 minute strat got everyone palm sweating. It's the same as a 15. You can't be stressed about it. But that's the whole point, is I was trying to catch the second leg. This would be second leg. This would be second leg. We'd see the next leg down. But it failed, you see. Kept us safe. These lows, happy for us. Keep us safe. Just lacking volume to get the continuation outside the range. We had volume, but it was just spent inside the range. The good thing is we do have a setup though. The setup would be something closing below here now. Or if we get a setup 2, because since we broke out the range, any setup 2 would actually work now. But that might come after stream. You know, and then you can go break even If you take close below here, you go break even at the 30-minute. But a setup 2 would work here. A setup 2 would work. This 5-minute close bullish, next one close bearish, can take a sell break of low. That would also work. As long as it closes below the range properly. I took the sell GG. Yeah, but it didn't hit 1-to-1, man. It gave you very close and there was no reason to close. So for me, probably break even. Or you're holding now 14 points, 15 points drawdown, which is not needed to, you don't have to do that. Gold as well, pulling back completely the move here. So we can buy up gold later. And that's my cue to call it. So I think today's session, interesting. We had two options. One option was gold aggressive on the flip. Look, I'm just extremely uncomfortable trading at daily, weekly, and 4-hour resistance for buys. It's just normally a very difficult thing. If we continue to remain in this range today, I can start to trade that during NY. It is just riskier, and I have to accept that. On DAX here, the option was to impulsively enter. If I impulsively entered, I would be out break even. So today actually wouldn't have resulted in anything. But we still have time. There could be a resistance formed, then I can take sells back down. But I'm probably going to take that after stream. Any New York positions I'll post in the Discord or my Instagram story. So make sure that you're following my Instagram or Discord so you can see my New York trade. Thanks all for showing up. Have an amazing rest of your day and hopefully catch you guys very, very soon. All right. Peace. Cheers, guys. Cheers.